Right, so I'm just gonna jump back a tad. I'm in 2nd Esdras 9:4. Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. Right, and the end is being manifest right now today. As you can see, all the prophecies are unraveling. And you hear me keep saying prophecy, 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 because this is all we're supposed to be out. All of us brothers, we got to live in the day of prophecy. Once again, earthquakes, and I'm going to keep repeating it. Earthquakes, famine, destruction, and another thing, you 2/3 is going to start dying as well too, man. And but that's a whole other subject. We're going to stick on this for right now. Okay.
Can't slow shit up. But motherfuckers can't put 2 and 2 together.
Exactly.
But okay, go ahead. Fucking assholes. Yes. Oh my bad.
Do this one.
Yeah. You see, I'm ready to get I'm ready to get at his ass. But we'll do the Migos. Don't matter if you got him up. Let's do him. You got the control.
All right. Obama. Okay, it says Obama signs sweeping U.S. budget cuts into effect.
When a major league team with an innovative idea,
which we're gonna actually have to read it to you
gets a strategic
because
investment from
they're not
Goldman
gonna give you.
Sachs.
They're gonna tell you about how he cutting the budget and so forth, but they're not gonna tell you what does that mean to you. Right. And you gotta remember this stuff from last year.
Millions
So
of fans
y'all
have
already
been ways
lived
to
out what this did to y'all.
The game-changing
So we
Yes
don't let
Network
this weak ass
makes
commercial,
progress.
video show y'all, and they gonna tell y'all. Then we gonna break it down to y'all. Then y'all tell me if y'all lived it or not. After we done.
Good morning, America. This morning, America under the knife. At midnight, $85 billion in budget cuts started to kick in.
Waking up this morning, many Americans might have despaired of their politicians because these cuts were never meant to happen. Simply the threat of swinging aside that spending was designed to force a budget deal. But it didn't. The deadline passed, and last night President Obama had to sign them into law. This morning, he warned of the consequences.
These cuts are not smart. They'll hurt our economy and cost us jobs. And Congress can turn them off at any time, as soon as both sides are willing to compromise.
The cuts have been triggered to spending programs right across the federal government. As the education budget is cut, the effect will be felt in classrooms. There will be less money for airport security and air traffic control. And half the budget squeeze will fall on defense.
Effective immediately, Air Force flying hours will be cut back. This will have a major impact on training and readiness. The Army will curtail training for all units except those deploying to Afghanistan.
Democrats and Republicans agree America needs to balance its books and cut its spending, but they're at loggerheads over how. The White House thinks there should be a mixture of targeted spending cuts and tax increases, but Republicans in Congress are adamant. No new taxes. Taxes on the richest Americans went up in January, and Republicans say that's enough.
Let's make it clear that the president got his tax hikes on January 1st. This discussion about revenue, in my view, is over. It's about taking on the spending problem here in Washington.
These cuts may harm the American economy in a way that is felt by us all. Nobody seems sure. But politicians here do agree this is a budget debacle of their own making. Ben Wright, BBC News, Washington.
All right. So as you can see, the television, your local news actually lied to you. Now, if you go into the article and start pulling out what they didn't want to tell them, because Americans don't read. You're supposed to just watch that and supposed to left it at that, because that's what you did last year. And you went a whole 12 months. And things start to happen in your life, and you couldn't even understand why. Right. So that's why Jim in Wisconsin took it upon theyself to inform y'all on what happened since y'all lived it. So it's a thing called austerity measures. What is austerity? Cut back of your social services. See that? Health benefits, unemployment, food stamps, Boys and Girls Club, Section 8, all of those programs to
Programs.
fill in the people who have less.
Right,
Now
for
start
niggas.
deciphering this form through that a little bit.
Alright, I'm gonna start at the top. It says U.S. President Barack Obama has signed in effect a wave of steep spending cuts, which he has warned could damage the U.S. economy. The cuts, known as the sequester, and drawn up. Yeah, I'm gonna stop right there. Yeah.
Fuck all that. That's all gibby gabbish. That's what you read, man.
Okay. It says the IMF has warned the cuts could slow global economic growth.
Right. See that the IMF come right in and say, look, y'all can't be cutting because y'all the engine of the world. Y'all gonna fuck the whole world up by doing what y'all doing. Okay. What else they do? Right here. He warns the cuts.
He warned the cuts, if fully released, like it, would slow
You said it real loud.
U.S. economic growth by half of 1% and cause 750,000 jobs.
Right, but we supposed to have job growth though. How you lose damn near over 500,000 jobs, but you got job growth? Yeah. Keep going. It's like right up. Yeah.
It's right here. Right. It says defense officials say 800,000 civilian employees will have their work week reduced.
Right. So how many of you people actually got y'all work week reduced? Y'all lived it. Y'all answer the question.
They say they will also have to scale back flight hours for warplanes and postpone some equipment maintenance.
Just one more. Yeah. Yeah, it said something about, yeah, that's it, they gotta get used to. So yeah, y'all got, a lot of people got put down to part-time jobs, and y'all jobs start telling y'all we only got, 32-hour work weeks.
Yep.
Oh, and some of y'all even got furloughs.
Yep.
See, some of y'all got furloughs, that was the same thing.
Yeah.
Some of y'all actually had, if you didn't get furloughs, some of y'all actually had y'all company stop working a week because they was calling it like a shutdown, or they wasn't, or they even gave y'all excuses, said that they wasn't getting no contracts. That was a goddamn lie. That was exactly what Obama did. That was the effect, the ripple effect of him cutting $85 billion out of the system. So everybody feeling the pinch, but hey, this Babylon great, the kingdom of all kingdoms, so it's kicking in. Okay, y'all, because I'm trying.
My bad. On the side, the pie chart gives how what they took out. Also, the yellow represents other mandatory. The purple represents Medicare, and the other colors is military and non-defense discretionary.
Anybody got your kid?
This is Job chapter 30, verse 15. Terrors are upon me, are turned upon me. They pursue my soul as the wind, and my welfare passeth away as a cloud. And now my soul is poured out upon me. The days of affliction have taken hold upon me.
He's talking to you black women. That's exactly us talking to you black women.
My bones are pierced in me in the night season, and my sinews take no rest. Mind you, always gonna be worried about where your next meal gonna come from due to these budget cuts. Because there's gonna be no more welfare in Section 8, no more food stamps. They just cut off unemployment.
Yeah.
And they just cut off unemployment, but they're telling you that this is good for the economy though. This is better for you. Your income is actually going to be increased by so much percent when your income and your income is being decreased and your cost of living is being increased. That's a total contradiction. And I have another scripture. This is Job chapter 13 verse 4. But ye are forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value. And that's what they do. They just lied to you in this article. Saying
Keep that one too, because we're gonna need that
Okay.
one.
And they just lied to you in this article, saying that this, budget cuts is actually going to help the economy. Or on the flip side, you got the IMF saying that budget cuts are going to kill the economy, or going to help the economy. Everything is the both two sides of the spectrum is both playing on your emotions to hide you from the truth. You got something? That's all I had.
Don't step down, then we'll support you up.
And really, when the lies come in is when they know society is about to start to get restless. Because Obama knows that with these budget cuts goes, people's livelihood. These budget cuts is actually destroying people's lives, and these people are going to get restless. So they need some type of story to keep them at bay. That's why they forge these lies and put them out in the press as if it's true.
Yeah, that's why they coming up with the new what you call statistics, like 4,000 jobs were found in America and stuff. But ain't nobody got no goddamn jobs though. That's one of the lies that they keep on telling. But everything is going down to shit though. Where is the job that they talking about? Because obviously you see nothing but more bums than people who going to work on a 9 to 5.
Yeah, you do. You saying that a big uptick,
Yep.
a big fluctuation of people walking around pushing shopping carts, pushing their belongings around with them.
Yep.
And you is seeing that more, and you seeing that they getting younger too.
Yep.
And if you haven't been seeing that, I don't know what you're looking at in this world. Oh, I know what you're looking at. Some fucking dumb ass bitches, right? Yeah. That's what you're looking at. That's why you can't see this world in it.
Like I ran into a younger Jake at the homeless center today. I was walking past, and as I was walking past, I said, "What's up to him?" I'm not even thinking nothing.
He homeless. You just thinking like it's just a guy like me. Hey, how you doing, man?
Right. This motherfucker started mugging me and everything. I'm like, did I do something to you? Then I looked at the bills, like, oh yeah, proud ass poor motherfucker. That's it.
Or he depressed.
Yep.
Depression leads to that too. Not just being proud all the time. Being depressed, going without, having nothing, hungry. That's what leads to robbing. Yeah.
This is Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 16 again. Cut off the sower from Babylon, and him that handleth the sickle in the time of harvest. The Lord said these jobs and and the money and the income is going to be cut off from Babylon. There will be no more riches.
Because it's time to close this motherfucker.
In the time of harvest. So what Obama just said to you was a lie. What he said to you actually went against the scriptures when you know the scriptures are coming to pass. Like I said, he only told that lie to keep your people at bay. For fear of the oppressing sword, they shall turn everyone to his people. All right, and that's the other nations. The other nations, like the Arabs and the Persians and the Africans and the other nations, they're going back to their homeland to make more money there because they have more opportunities there than they do here. Because the jobs are being pushed overseas, the money's being pushed overseas, and the infrastructure of America is breaking down. So this is it. This is it for this kingdom. This kingdom is over with.
I got a scripture. This is Isaiah, Proverbs 29 and 12. If a ruler hearken to lies, all his servants are wicked. The poor and the deceitful man together. The Lord lighteneth both their eyes. The king that faithfully judges the poor, his throne shall be established forever. The rod and proof gives wisdom, but a child left to himself bringeth his mother to shame. When the wicked are multiplied, transgression increase, but the righteous shall see their fall. Right, and wicked is multiplied by the rape, robbery, murder, deceit, the fraud.
HIV baby cured.
I'm gonna jump to verse 2, 29 and 2 of Proverbs. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. Yeah. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. That's why we got nothing but poor people around here. We got nothing but freaks, meaning freaks wise, bugged out their minds because the society
is breaking down.
Breaking people down.
So you don't have people. They don't have services for people who have mental illnesses. They don't have that no more. Yeah. So the mental illness people are just being locked up and detained, and the taxpayers is funding the money to keep them detained. So you have more people walking the street with all these mental illnesses, committing crimes, backlogging the system up.
We all have our little tricks.
And then you got
Mom
another
swaps one of my snacks for
being
Yoplait.
locked up.
I don't mind. I mean, it's orange bread. And when Mom said Bobby was too edgy,
What's up, girl?
I just swapped him out for Tyler.
What's up, girl?
Now let that play.
Mom never questioned Bobby again. Two can play at this game.
See that?
Swap one
So,
snack a
as
week
you
for
see-
Yo Play, and everybody wins. Yo Play. It is.
Click it. Yeah, so as you can see, even the commercial, just pause it. And we'll run this behind it. So as you can see, even that commercial was telling the kids how to get over on their parents. How not to listen to their parents. This is a commercial showing a young girl on how to, if your mom don't like someone, just switch it with somebody else who look like somebody she looked like, but really it's that same guy because he just dressed down now. So that's why she claps hands and say, hey, mom want to play that game, we too can play at that game. So they just showing the kids on that it's okay to deceive or giving ideas to deceive their parents. That's Satan. Anybody got anything else?
Yeah, I got Jeremiah 17:5. Say, thus saith the Most High, say, cursed be the man that trusteth in man and maketh flesh his own.
Yep, because they trust in this system. That's why, as much as you trust in this system and this establishment, that's why the Lord is bringing you down. Because you trusted in their money, you trusted in their currency, you trusted in their jobs. That's why the Lord got you going through all the hell you're going through right now.
Yep. Everyone's heart departed from the Most High.
Yep. You ain't looking for the scriptures and asking, you
What that
know,
Bible
why
gonna
is this
do?
happening? You know, you going
That's what
to,
they saying.
maybe I should go vote for this next president and see what type of packages he gonna bring to the table. You know. Go ahead.
For he shall be like the heath in the desert.
That's it. Okay.
Alright, this is the next article. It says, Mississippi baby born with HIV functionally cured, doctor says.
Boston discovered a baby born with HIV was cured almost by accident. And research into this remarkable case will be discussed today at a medical conference in Atlanta.
The discovery was made at this Jackson, Mississippi Medical Center, where the HIV-infected mother and her baby were treated.
We have, perhaps inadvertently, but in fact, cured the child.
But the case is a bit of a puzzle. After birth, the child was given 3 different medications to aggressively fight the virus. At some point, doctors lost track of the mother. 1 year later, they discovered she had stopped giving her child the medications.
After the baby had missed several appointments, we started looking for her.
They eventually found the mother and her baby, and then the clinic ran tests to see how much HIV was still in the baby's blood. Doctors found no trace of the virus.
My first thought was to panic. I thought, oh my goodness, I have been treating a child who's not actually infected.
But after lab work was checked and double-checked, doctors from Boston and Baltimore were brought in to begin research.
I think we were both incredibly surprised.
So now, at 2.5 years old, doctors say the child no longer requires any medications. Now doctors are trying to replicate the drug regimen. They hope their findings will help other HIV-infected babies, so they'll no longer require lifelong treatment. The research that started with a mistake in Mississippi will be discussed at length today at a conference in Atlanta.
If this indeed was a cure, it would be the second time in the world. The first case involves a man who had both AIDS and leukemia, and the bone marrow transplant that he was given for the leukemia also took away any traces of the HIV virus.
It's always these ones that sort of that break the mold that you have to really zero in on, and this is exciting stuff. Doctors believe that the drug combination and the timing may have been what happened because the virus didn't have a chance to reproduce.
That's right, and this is significant because even though in the United States we've made enough advances where testing for HIV has become part of the prenatal regimen for pregnant women, around the world in 2011, 300,000 children were infected with HIV. That's an incredible amount.
Imagine if we stumbled on a way to save 300,000 children.
Oh my goodness, AIDS and cancer. Come on, scientists, we're gonna get there.
Exciting stuff.
Yeah, so as you can see,
We all have our little trick.
yeah, so as you can see, they lying about the whole thing. Then they had the newscasters come on and put the statistics on there to spin you into believing that, hey, you know, it was a link in the missing chain. Black lady disappeared. We don't know what she did. All we know is we was treating her. Then all of a sudden, we check, cure. Wow, we don't know what happened.
Right, and then they don't show the baby, they don't show the mother, and they don't tell you the 3 so-called treatments that they use.
Yeah, they don't.
It was a lot.
It's 2 Corinthians 2:11. That Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. So yeah, that's right. We know them white motherfuckers lying, plain out. Once you know who they is, then you start believing them. This Psalms 55:21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. So yeah, so that's how I know who they is. So I know all that's a lie. They just throwing that out there to finally tell
Make you
people
feel
just
good.
the way of how we got AIDS. That's all they doing. This Psalms 58:2. Yet in heart you work wickedness. You weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they born, speaking lies. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stompeth her ear, which will not hearken to the voice of the charming ever so wisely. So that's talking about us. Because a lot of y'all ain't going to believe us anyway. It's going to believe them crackers anyway. So y'all can believe them and roll with their lies.
I think that's something.
Go ahead.
This is Sirach 10:8. Because of unrighteous dealings and injuries and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. Right, and I brought that up because riches got by deceit. Now they'll use this story and come up with some type of cure HIV program or foundation or some stuff like that.
Or
Right.
like use a motherfucker for to get your money from you.
Yep.
Right. Help or
They'll
pay
bring
for
this
the-
sad story. Oh, we got one. Let's continue getting this thing going. That's why her last statement was, "Come on, scientists, we're almost there." Just by that phrase, she can make a little slogan and,
we
and set
almost
something
there.
up.
Right, we almost there for AIDS Foundations.
Yep.
We just need fun.
Yeah, so it's working. So just fund more money.
God.
Cause we got one case. We got a case now.
And that's how they build on their lives and build on the people.
That's some real quick. This is another excerpt from the Tavistock Institute of Human Relations.
All right, make it quick.
This is page 37. It says, henceforth, mingling news techniques with fiction, so terrifying that it would be taken as fact.
Right. What was the fiction? They statistics.
Was to be standard practice for the graduates of Tavistock. All news broadcasts were to be adaptations of news and fiction, in a skillful blend, so as to make the one recognizable from the other, unrecognizable from the other. But yeah, like they mix truth with lies, mostly lies with a little bit of truth. The truth was the baby is 2.5 years old and don't got HIV. The lie is that she was so-called cured, and they had the 3 tests and they had the doctors and all of that. That's it. These newscasters and news clippings are sure propaganda.
Yep. They call it farce news, fake news.
Yeah. Water treatment.
You know. So waiting. I bring another scripture out while we're waiting. This is Sirach 12:10. Never trust thine enemy, for as like iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humbleth himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass. And thou shalt know that his rust has not been altogether wiped away. Right, so you can't trust the so-called white man in nothing you do. Okay? You ain't supposed to be your right-hand man, your partner, your co-partner, or nothing like that. It says, verse 12, set him not by thee, lest when he hath overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place, not to let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my words, and be pricked therewith. Right, so never trust your enemy. You know? Because these so-called white men, these elites, they know what the cure is. They got the cure because they created the cure. You see? So you can't trust them in saying that, oh, now they finna start bringing it out. Well, that'll defeat the purpose of the George Guidestones that they got set up to kill off the population. So no, they're not about to come out and expose that they have an actual cure.
You sure you gotta start getting involved?
Yeah, I got a scripture.
Okay. And make sure you start bringing your other book too. When we come outside, don't bring that book out. That book you ain't even read.
It's Lamentations 4:21. It says, rejoice and be glad, O daughters of Edom, that dwelleth in the land of Uz.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shalt make thyself naked. The punishment of thy iniquity is accomplished. O daughter of Zion, he will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thy iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sin. So what you Edomites doing there, y'all rejoice and be glad right now, because destruction is at hand, man. Your downfall is at hand.
I got another scripture. This is Sirach 11 and 33. Take heed of a mischievous man, for he worketh wickedness. Explain the so-called white man. Lest he bring upon thee a perpetual plot. Right, so you got to take heed to the so-called white man. He's that mischievous man. The man that works iniquity. The man that sets up lies and spiritual fornication. Okay?
We'll wait.
Go ahead, brother.
No, we done. Go ahead.
Alright, it says U.S. and Saudi sends warnings to Iran and Syria.
Is that John Kerry? Yeah. Council of Foreign Relations. He's in the Secretary of State. Gotta do his job. Right.
It says the United States and Saudi Arabia have presented a united front to Iran and Syria, alerting Iran's leadership that patience over its alleged nuclear ambitions is wearing thin, and warning Syrian President Bashar al-Assad that they will boost support to rebels unless he steps down.
Exactly. And they did that. They actually funding them rebels over there. Yeah, we want to run
this. It says John Kerry, the U.S. Secretary of State, was in Saudi Arabia on Monday on the latest leg of a 9-nation tour through Europe and the Middle East on his first overseas trip as Washington's top diplomat. And on Monday, Kerry reminded Iran that U.S. President Barack Obama has vowed not to allow Iran to get a nuclear weapon, and that he has kept all options, including military options, on the table to prevent that from happening.
Well, it looks like he took time because now he just signed an agreement that they can do it. And Saudi Arabia and who else got mad?
Israel.
Yeah, and Israel got mad and said, you undermining our authority. But this is how he started off the year, though.
Right.
I vowed that they would not get one. Then by the end of the year, he's shaking hands saying, yeah, you can get one, let's do talks.
It says the window of opportunity for a diplomatic solution cannot by definition remain open indefinitely, Kerry said. There is time to resolve this issue, providing the Iranians are prepared to engage seriously on the P5+1 proposal. But talks will not go on for the sake of talks, and talks cannot cannot become an instrument for delay that will make the situation more dangerous, he says. Prince Saud Al Faisal, the Saudi foreign minister whose country shares concerns with other Gulf Arab states about increasing Iranian aggressiveness in the region, agreed. It says, we hope that the negotiations will result in putting an end to this problem rather than containing it, he said, taking into account that the clock is ticking and negotiations cannot go on further. Well,
Right, so we're going to actually see what happened at the end of these talks on where they at standing to now. That's it.
Okay. Anybody got any scriptures in?
for his enemies, he puffeth at them. I forgot what I said.
This Revelation chapter 6, verse 4. And there went out another horse that was red. That represents Esau. And power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. Right, he takes peace from the earth with that great sword of his, the nuclear missile.